Okay, I just talked to Abdullah. Maybe I should call Bess and John and maybe even Professor Hotchkiss.
Hi, Bess.
Nancy, how goes the old mummy hunt?
Good, I think. Maybe bad.
Something happened, didn't it?
There was a sandstorm, and the professor from Kingston had to be taken to the hospital.
Nancy, be careful out there. It sounds dangerous.
I will.
George is all wrapped up in that new job of hers, but you can call me anytime you need help. Full disclosure, while I do play an Egyptologist on television, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Lily seems very uptight.
Do you think she's hiding something?
No doubt about it. I just don't know if it's relevant.
Strange behavior is rarely irrelevant, especially in a group that isolated.
Good point. I'd better get going.
See ya!
Hi, Nancy.
Lily seemed upset about me doing any work here.
Show me a PhD student who isn't upset about something, and I'll build you your very own pyramid.
Why would she want to keep me away from your work?
I have no clue. If she wants to play at being in charge, let her. It'll save you a lot of headaches.
What do you know about Lily?
Not much. She's with Abdullah's team.
Oh, okay.
It's just strange that she's out there.
Why?
I never say a critical word about a student, but the archaeology community is small. People talk. I guess all I'm going to say is it's surprising Abdullah put her on his team.
You can't just leave it at that. The curiosity center of my brain is going to go into full meltdown.
I can't, Nancy. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to talk about it.
What do you know about Abdullah?
He's almost as brilliant as he thinks he is.
He seems a little full of himself.
A little. With that amount of swagger, you'd think he invented sand.
Do you think he's behind your attack?
I don't think so. This isn't the first time we've butted heads. I'd think that if he were to attack me, he wouldn't sneak up from behind.
Abdullah seems confused by the hieroglyphs in the tomb.
Really?
You sound surprised.
Astonished, dumbfounded, with a twist of smug thrown in to soothe my ego.
So, if he's confused...
Then it is confusing. He's one of the brightest minds in the field. If he's stumped, something unique is going on here.
How's the recovery coming?
Good. I am at the point where watching television is tedious again, so that's a good sign. TV is very frustrating for the solution-oriented personality.
I don't think I've heard that before.
It's true. I find myself yelling, "Test your hypothesis before acting on it," at all of the sitcoms. Truthfully, I'm still feeling a little woozy. As soon as I can stand without feeling dizzy, I am on my way back to the site, even if I have to sneak out of here.
I'll let you go.
Talk to you later.
Hotchkiss here?
It's Nancy Drew.
Oh, Francine, dear, I'm so glad you called. I've been having the most infuriating problem with my internet.
This is Nancy Drew.
Oh, you young people are so refreshing, always in search of new identities. The problem is that I downloaded this program called Weather Monkey. At my age, it's important that I keep abreast of all meteorological developments. But now I'm starting a new book, and I can't focus on my work because the Weather Monkey keeps yelling the weather at me.
Maybe you should uninstall it?
I will do no such thing. That would be tantamount to murder.
Maybe turn it down?
Brilliant and fantastic. Oh, yes, Samantha, you are a ticket. I would love to help you, but how do I know you again?
Nancy Drew. We've met a few times.
Aha, now I remember you. If life were a good book, you'd be my favorite reoccurring character.
I'm in Egypt, and I need your help.
Egypt? Well, why didn't you say that instead of chattering away about my internet problems?
I don't know how to respond to that. I read your book, and I thought maybe you could help.
You found my book while you were in Egypt. The serendipity is as delectable as Chateaubriand smothered in lavender lemon juice. I am at your disposal.
I didn't exactly find it. You sent it to me. You even signed it.
Oh dear, I sign and send lots of things.
Have you heard of Abdullah?
Yes, I have. He is December on my Men of Archaeology calendar.
You're kidding me. Does that exist?
It existed the second I made it. Is he there with you?
Yes. He seems full of himself.
He is. Oh, I am not an advocate of pulpy romance novels, but if I were, I'd call that an archable trait. In Chapter 1, he'd swagger into the excavation site, the picture of a rascal with his dusty leather jacket and decidedly European haircut. His cocky ne'er-do-well smirk displaying his perfectly white teeth, but by the end he'd be sweetly holding flowers and saying, "Professor Hotchkiss, I'm dying to discuss your latest publication." A colleague of mine has guilted me into editing her latest romance novel, and I must confess I cannot wait until the project is completed. Reading page after page is absolutely wreaking havoc on my metaphors. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I no longer know.
Abdullah, that's what. He's a cold-blooded hotshot with only one setting: success. Oh, sorry, I've also been helping my nephew break into the movie trailer business. Oh, Hotchkiss, why must you always burn the candle at both ends? He's a good archaeologist who knows Egypt inside and out. He could teach you a thing or two, just don't pick up the attitude.
Have you heard of an expedition that went off in search of Nefertari years ago?
Oh, yes. The team in which everyone died. Is that the one?
Yes. Do you think that story is true?
Oh, heavens, yes. It's deadly out there in the desert. Think about it. You're going out there in search of dead bodies. There must be a reason they're in favor of the area.
But this expedition wasn't searching for QV66, right?
Indeed not. That had already been discovered. They were searching for Nefertari's mummy.
What do you think happened to them?
Oh, it's best to not concern yourself about that now, given your current location.
What do you know about Nefertari?
Ah, a love story. Oh, break out the tissue papyrus, because when I'm done, there won't be a dry Horus in the house.
What?
Look it up, dear. Ramses II and Nefertari shared a love so vast, the world could scarcely contain it. I'm talking about the kind of love you spell capital L, capital O, heart instead of a V, capital E. They stood side by side and ruled the world, but as they saw the years stretch out before them, they were keenly aware that a handful of decades would never cut it. They needed to be together always.
That's sweet.
And relevant. The ancient Egyptians believed that life was little more than a dress rehearsal for eternity. I've found records that they concocted a plan to be together forever, side by side.
Why not be buried side by side?
They foresaw a volatile future for their kingdom, and they were correct. They knew they would have to enact safeguards. That's why in 1904, when QV66, the so-called tomb of Nefertari, was found, her body was not there.
What are the chances we found Nefertari's tomb?
If I were a gambling Hotchkiss, I'd say 60-40.
I still don't get all this business with QV66. Why build a fake tomb?
For the same reason I never carry my passport in my purse when I travel. Some things are too valuable to leave in a tempting place.
You mentioned an expedition that found QV66, Nefertari's tomb.
It was one of the most significant finds in archaeology. They call it the Sistine Chapel of Egypt. It's where my fascination with the royalty of Egypt was born. The color alone took my breath away. We think of ancient Egypt as being a subdued sand color, but it was a riotous display with all the visual delights of a midsummer gelato shop cooler case.
And you don't think Nefertari was entombed there?
They only found kneecaps, which supposedly means that her tomb was robbed.
You disagree?
I do. What good is the mummy without the context? It's the placement in the tomb that makes the mummy valuable.
Why is Nefertari so important?
There are two queens I find most fascinating in ancient Egypt, and for exactly the same reason. They were hidden. Hatshepsut is the first.
I think I've heard of her. She was the pharaoh that was almost removed from the historical record, right?
Exactly. 20-some years of peace and stability, and after she dies, Thutmose III's ancient cronies try to erase her from the record.
Why?
Jealousy, revenge, fear that his reign would never equal hers. You name it, but you can't keep a good woman down. Despite the efforts of Thutmose III's supporters, her legacy endured.
And Nefertari?
In my opinion, she's the opposite. She was obsessively preserved in the historical record, but it was her tomb that was hidden.
This conversation is a lot longer than I thought it would be, but we're learning some good stuff.
How sure are you that Nefertari's tomb was hidden?
There was something strange about QV66. I think that might be why it is off limits to this day.
It is?
To you and me, at the very least. There is a rumor that the tomb has a clue to the true location of Nefertari's mummy.
Really?
Who knows? I'll tell you this. I didn't have time to read all of the hieroglyphs, but I noticed that the syntax was a little, shall we say, wonky.
I don't know how hieroglyph syntax could be non-wonky.
True, but it was almost as if Nefertari and Ramses II had their own language.
I need your help. The hieroglyphs here don't make sense.
Then you are in for a treat. I like my puzzles as tempting as the gooseberry pie from San Rios in Little Brazil, and as complex as the ginger lime sauce they lovingly smother it in. You should focus on what doesn't make sense. Look for a part of the pattern that has no earthly business being there.
I'd better get going.
Hotchkiss out!
Okay, so we just learned a lot of stuff. Gonna go into this work tent and snoop
This
around.
looks like a map of the site.
So that's a map of the site. That's great. Okay, so we learned about QV66 a lot, which is the name of the site where they found, where they supposedly found Nefertari's tomb, but people think that she wasn't robbed. Like, some people think that that the tomb was robbed and her body was taken and it's lost forever. But some people think that it was buried somewhere else. So anyway, that's why she's called the Lost Queen. Okay, I'll read that
My
later.
dictionary could help translate that.
Judged is he by the ancestors of Ra. Ra is the sun god. This is a brochure on some kind of extraterrestrial division program. Sunny June, special repeat presentation. Okay, that will come in handy later. Anyway, there's something over here about... Okay, no, this is just the official site grid. All artifacts removed from the tomb must be labeled with the corresponding site grid number from the location where the artifacts were found. But anyway, so QV66, that was a long time ago. And then 60 years ago, an expedition went lost, supposedly at the site that we're at now, which has been named KU something. KU for Kingston University, because I guess that's who found it. You take this and a brush. But anyway, so that's why people suspect that this is the tomb of Nefertari, but we don't know for sure. Amulets found. Okay.
I should try to piece the amulet back together.
So this is an amulet that was found at N13E2. And we can glue it back together. First, I'm going to finish looking around here. That's a light that will come in handy later. Okay, I also want to get some water. Because we're in the desert and Nancy's probably thirsty. gonna turn around and go here and look back at this book. And we're gonna read this. Nefertari. Nefertari, not to be confused with Nefertiti, was the favored wife of the great Pharaoh Ramses II. During his long reign, Ramses had many principal wives, but Nefertari was his first and best-loved queen. She and Queen Tiye were the only queens to be deified while they were still alive. The small temple at Abu Simbel was built to honor her and the goddess Hathor. The statues of Nefertari on the temple's facade can't say that word, are the same height as those of Ramses, indicating her high status. Ramses also built her a tomb in the Valley of the Queens. This tomb is one of the best preserved today, and the vivid colors of the paintings within still grace the walls. When the tomb was rediscovered in 1904, it was found to have already been visited by tomb raiders. Of the items originally placed within to accompany Nefertari in the afterlife, only a portion of a mummy and a few broken pieces remained. So this is QV66, which is what Hotchkiss was talking about. I guess QV stands for Queen Valley, maybe? Valley of the Queens? I don't know. But, that's... I just wanted to read that because... Okay, this... I actually don't find this book helpful at all. I don't even know why we have it. Maybe it's helpful for one of the puzzles. I can't remember. Okay, I'm kind of sick of talking to people, so I'm gonna spend the rest of this video doing some puzzles, like putting this together to figure out what it is. Oh, wait, I think this goes here. Ha. That will help. Okay, I'm almost there. Got to fit this little circle. Oh yeah, okay, this goes here.
There's a piece missing. I wonder where the rest of the amulet pieces were found in the tomb.
Okay, so it's a cat and the front paw is missing, and this was found, the pieces were found at N13E2. So we'll go look at this to see where N13 North Hall East 2. Okay, so at this corner. So we're gonna go back into the tomb, into the North Hall, and
This is approximately where the other amulet pieces were found.
use our brush to get that piece. We'll go back and finish putting it together.
Got it.
And now we have a cool cat amulet for later. Okay, I haven't read this yet, but really this is helpful later on in the game. I think there is something that I missed in the tomb. Okay, never mind. I can't even look over here. Look back at this. Okay, nope. Can't do that. Okay, well, I might not be able to even do anything except for talk to people. So... Oh, wait. No, I don't think I can do that yet. Can I do this yet? No, I can't do this yet. Okay. Just gotta talk to people. I haven't talked to Lily in a while. I'm gonna talk to Lily. Or wait, maybe I can look at his notes.
Hi!
What do you think of Abdullah?
Say what you want about how he behaves. He's earned it.
What makes you so sure of that?
I've studied his career. He's a bit of a jerk, but let's face it, when you think of archaeology, you think of him. He's the best. A decade of dedicated study.
Okay, I guess you have a point.
Thanks. It just bothers me when people are critical of him. He's sort of a hero of mine.
I'll catch you later.
Bye!
I think we should be able to look at the notes. Yes. So I guess Lily talked to John, and now we can look at the notes. Okay. The same phrase can often be represented with... Wait.
Part of John's notes are missing. That doesn't seem right.
Let me... Oh, good. I can even look in here. Dang. Okay. Take that. And then I'll read this. After I read this, I will go back and read his notes because they are very important. John Boyle, Professor of Archaeology, Kingston University, New York. Dear John, I heard at the recent Paris and Williams Archaeological Gala that you are still looking for the perfect applicant to round out your team for the upcoming dig in Egypt. I am writing to recommend Nancy Drew as a candidate for consideration. Nancy worked for us as a deputy curator at Beach Hill Museum, where her observational skills and attention to detail provided an invaluable contribution to the successful opening of our exhibit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is Franklin Rose from, he's a character from Secret of the Scarlet Hand, where Nancy worked at Beach Hill, so that's who recommended Nancy to John to take on this dig. Okay, now I'm going to go back and read this. And as a result, the same phrase can often be represented with different hieroglyphs. Take the name of Pa-Re-He-Re-Wena-Meph. That's a mouthful. Okay, so this is kind of just talking about hieroglyphs. No wonder some of these hieroglyphs aren't making any sense. There are numerous locations where whole phrases are undecipherable. They all seem to be marked by the same unique symbol. Could it be the builders of this tomb created their own language? I think I may be starting to break the code. Regardless, the hieroglyphs around the tomb are giving a strong indication of a royal female presence. Could it be the Lost Queen? The partial inscription decoded from the piece removed from the main room certainly seems to say it is. The tomb within, sealed behind her titles, acknowledge them fully with no gaps from left to right, and it shall be opened according thereto. Let it be ... I must track down the rest of the inscription. If I can find that, I'll be on the path to the greatest discovery since Tutankhamun. Another big clue, deciphered something, and it has been torn off. Okay, so this part seems to talk about the puzzle that we've already seen, which I will go back to now because I think Nancy will make a comment on it. I don't want to talk to him.
These must be the Queen's titles John mentioned in his notes. It looks like a hieroglyph appears in the bottom row when the column contains only one type of hieroglyph. I need to rearrange the pieces so the bottom reveals the hidden message.
Okay, so yeah, his notes say, sealed behind her titles, acknowledge them fully with no gaps from left to right, and it shall be opened. Okay, so we need to do this and it will open something. Okay, the first one could be any of these symbols, but I think it's a bird. It's either this bird or this bird. I can't remember. I think it's... wonder if this... Oh, that book is in my tent. I'm pretty sure I have this first part right. gonna move these out of the way because I need to focus. Yeah, this is it. No, never mind. Oh, this is causing the problem. Then there's nothing at the end. That okay. I really wanted. Okay. This is the problem. Okay, I really wanted to solve this in this video, but I think I'm just gonna have to wait. This is really close though. Like I literally am just one off, I think. But anyway, okay, yes, I will come back to solve this puzzle in the next video. Thanks for watching.